WordPress has new SEO settings. Medium has new tools for bloggers. Is Snapchat bigger than Twitter? That and more in today's episode of Today in Blogging. Hey, this is Leslie Samuel here from becomeablogger.com, where we're changing the world one blog at a time. And this is the show where I bring you the latest news that's happening in the blogosphere and beyond, as well as break it down so that you can know how it affects you as a blogger. Let's start this off by talking about WordPress. No, I'm not talking about the self-hosted WordPress that most of us who are building businesses with our blogs are using. I'm talking about blogs hosted on WordPress.com. Well, if that's something you're doing, maybe you're doing it because you want a free option. You now have more control over the SEO settings. That's the search engine optimization settings. Now, let me explain. You can finally define a custom front page meta description so that when your site shows up in the search engines, you get to set what shows up for your main page. Now, for all of your other pages and your posts, those are going to be automatically determined from the content of those posts and pages. Also, they made it easier for you to verify your site with different webmaster tools and find your sitemap so that you can submit it to those tools. The ones that they allow as of right now are Google Search Console, Bing Master Tool, Webmaster Tools, Pinterest Site Verification, and Yandex Webmaster. I never even heard of Yandex Webmaster, but hey, I know you can do something with it, right? So, what does that mean for you? Well, if you have your own self-hosted WordPress site, absolutely nothing. You got everything you need. You got even more than that. But if you're using WordPress.com, like if you want the free version, you have a little more control. Not that I'd recommend this as a serious blogging platform, but hey, you get what you pay for, or in this case, what you don't pay for. Speaking about blogging platforms, let's talk a little bit about Medium. If you haven't heard of Medium, it's a publishing or blogging platform that was developed by one of the co-founders of Twitter. Sounds familiar, right? Yeah, it's kind of a big site. Now, back in April, they rolled out a bunch of new features hoping to get publishers and bloggers to make Medium their home. One big thing they rolled out is the ability to host your blog or publication there for free with your own custom domain. Now, that's kind of a big deal. Free hosting? I won't even tell you how much I pay every month to host my blog. It's kind of painful. Anyways, they've just rolled out 5 new tools for Medium publications. I'm going to give you the quick rundown. But first, let me get you up to speed on Medium lingo. A publication is like a blog. A story is like a post. Get it? Okay, let's go. Number 1. Full text RSS. So this is so that you can give people the option to subscribe to your publication via RSS using something like Feedly and get the full text of your stories just like you can do with WordPress. Number 2, you can now customize your URL slugs. So up until recently, when you wrote a story, the URL would be automatically created and you had no way to change it. Not anymore. You can make it whatever you want, and that's actually pretty good for SEO. Number 3, you already had the ability to add a navigation menu to your publication. That's pretty cool, but it only showed up on the main page. Well, now the navigation is going to show up in your stories too. Number 4, before you could have added links to your navigation menu, but it could only link to the tag pages. That's like your archive pages in WordPress. Well, now you can link to individual stories and have them act like pages of your publication, kind of like WordPress. And lastly, number 5, if you have a publication with a custom domain on Medium, you now have publication-specific profiles. So if you have authors on there, each author will now have a custom profile for your publication, showing all of the stories that they wrote for your publication. All right, let's talk about what that means for bloggers. Medium is really stepping up their game. They aren't at the level of WordPress, but they're definitely trying to build a serious alternative. Because they're integrating with Twitter, it gives you kind of a built-in audience via your Twitter followers, and you can't beat the cost of hosting. It's free. Now, I wouldn't recommend abandoning WordPress at this point because it's still the best option out there, in my opinion, but I would definitely keep an eye on what Medium is doing. If you want to go check it out, if you want to see what my personal blog looks like on there, go to leslie-samuel.com. All right, let's talk about the big stuff. You know, back in March, Instagram, who is now owned by Facebook, they announced that they were rolling out an algorithm so that your Instagram feed will show you the moments they believe you care the most about. Well, they've just announced that they are rolling out new tools for businesses. What kind of tools? Business profiles, like Facebook, insights, like Facebook, and post promotion, like Facebook. Now, before you get all excited, let me give you a word of warning. If you're a blogger that's using Instagram to market your blog, please pay close attention. I mean, does this kind of sound familiar? It kind of sounds like, well, you guessed it, Facebook. Here's my prediction. The Instagram news feed is going to become more like the Facebook news feed. If you want exposure, you're going to have to be really good, or you're just going to have to pay for it. But you know what? I don't necessarily see that as a bad thing, but I'll stop there and share more of my thoughts in the future. Okay, let's get to the last story, and it's a huge one. According to an article in Bloomberg, Snapchat has passed Twitter in terms of daily usage. Yeah, I know, kind of crazy. I mean, isn't Twitter the #2 social network? Well, kinda, but not in terms of daily usage. Snapchat has only been around for 4 years and has 150 million daily active users. Now, if you check out Twitter's most recent earnings report, they claim to have 310 million monthly active users. But here's the kicker. 44% of those users are active every day. 44%. And if you do the math, that's 136 million users, and that's 14 million less than Snapchat. I know, crazy, huh? Here's my take-home message. Snapchat is growing quickly. If you are creative and you like short-form video, please pay attention to Snapchat. They are a force to be reckoned with. And if you're not paying attention to Snapchat because you think that maybe your audience isn't there, well, 150 million people are telling me that times are changing. So there you have it. That's what's happening in the industry and how it affects us as bloggers. Now, I would like to hear from you. What do you think about these changes? Whether it's WordPress, Medium, Instagram, or Snapchat, leave your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear them. Now, if you'd like to see the references for the stuff that I spoke about today and you ain't on the blog for some reason, use the link in the description to go to the post where I link to everything. And if you're watching this on Facebook, go ahead and like the Become a Blogger Facebook page. I mean, you might as well. And if you want to make sure to see whenever I post new content like this to keep you up to date with what's happening in the blogosphere and beyond, make sure to add the page to your See First list. This is Leslie Samuel here from becomeablogger.com, where we're changing the world one blog at a time. And until next time, take care and God bless.